Hey y'all, happy Wednesday. So I am down at the local park and it's beautiful down here today. So I brought my new selfie stick, which I'm using right at the moment, and my dead cat or cat head or whatever this thing is called. And I recorded about a 12-minute video, and then I got back in my car and I went to listen to it to see how it comes out. The video is there, but there's no sound. So I don't know. It said it was on, it said it was recording. I don't know what it is. Anyway, my topic today was about something that I never dreamed I would talk about on here. It wasn't even in my thought process when I started this channel the other day. But it reared its ugly head this morning, and I thought, oh, this is a big part of my life, so I should probably talk about it. And that is ADD. If you have ADD, I hope this will help you to feel a little better by the end of it. If you don't have it, you definitely know someone who does. And I think there are many people who have it and don't even know they have it. For me, I grew up always thinking there was something wrong with me. I couldn't focus. I couldn't concentrate. I was not a good student. I never wanted to be in school because I couldn't focus and I couldn't concentrate, even when I tried really hard. I remember sitting in science class one day, Mr. Bentley's science class, and I remember we were taking a test, and it was important and it was timed, so we only had a certain amount of time. And I found myself looking out the window at a dog walking around on the school campus. And I watched the dog for a while, and then I thought, oh, you're supposed to be doing this. So I went back to working on my test. Next thing I know, I'm looking out the window again. I'm watching the leaves blow on the trees. I'm watching people. I'm watching whatever. And I could not. And I remember thinking, what is wrong with me that I can't focus and I can't concentrate and I can't get anything done? My mom used to have a nickname for me that really was very painful. And I know she never meant it to be. I know she never meant to hurt me, but she used to call me bird brain, because of my lack of focus. And it was hard and it hurt, but I couldn't seem to really do anything about it. Back in the early 1900s, this condition, it didn't have the name attention deficit disorder at that time. People usually thought that when, they had this kind of issue, it was generally attributed to little boys who were hyperactive and got in trouble a lot in school. But it's really not about getting in trouble. I never really got in trouble. I just couldn't focus and couldn't concentrate. And I got my diagnosis at 26 from a psychiatrist. I was going through a lot of things at that time. I was having chest pain and I thought I had a heart problem. It turned out to just be anxiety and all this stuff. But during the time that I was seeing the doctor, he diagnosed me with that. And I was actually so thrilled at 26 years old to get that diagnosis, because it answered so many questions for me. It helped me to understand why I was the way I was. And then I could set about finding ways to deal with it, which for me, it's making notes. I have to make notes all the time. The downside of that is, if you go look on my dining room table right now, you'll see 4 notebooks. Because why, I don't know, but I have 4 notebooks with all my notes in them. I don't know why I can't just do 1 notebook. But anyway, that's very frustrating. I do have some notes I'm going to look at, because otherwise I will never remember everything that I want to talk about. Reading a book. I have trouble reading books, because if I'm reading, I can read a whole page or a whole chapter. Couldn't tell you at all what it was just about. I don't know. If I'm having a conversation with you, now people who are close to me will attest to this, I can be looking you dead in the eye and responding at all the right places, smiling, frowning, whatever is appropriate for the conversation, and not be hearing a word that you say, because my brain is on the next thing. My mind is on to this or on to that, or worrying about this or that or the other. If I pass somebody on a sidewalk that I know, and I say, hey, how are you doing today? And they say, oh, good, how are you? And they keep walking. I'm wondering, okay, what's wrong with me that they didn't want to stop and talk to me? Did I offend them in some way? What did I do? How come they don't want to talk to me? Maybe they just got somewhere to be and they're busy and they don't have time. But I would dwell on that all day long, and then I'll get in bed and I'll dwell on it for 3 hours. What I did to cause that person to not want to talk to me. Is that the most ridiculous thing? But it is a very common trait of ADD. I'll also, what is that meme? I saw a meme about, I can see you're trying to sleep, so I'm going to offer you, this is your brain. I can see you're trying to sleep, so I'm going to offer you a selection of blah, 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 blah. And that's how it is every night. I've had a sleeping problem since I was about 25 because I just think and dwell and can't get moving. Let me see, what do I want to talk about? Post-it notes. I had a job one time where I had a desk job, and my boss came in one day and he said, I'm very concerned about all these post-it notes. So all around my computer screen were yellow post-it notes, all down the sides, all down the bottom, all across the top. If I didn't have those post-it notes, I would have gone crazy. Well, it was driving him crazy, and he wanted me to get rid of them because he said he thought it would confuse me. And I said, no. If I don't have these, I'm not going to be able to function. I have to have these post-it notes. These are what reminds me of what I need to do. So that system always worked for me. Okay, if I'm in church, y'all that go to church with me, I sit in the front row. I sit in the front row. Why do I sit in the front row? Because if I don't, I'm not going to hear a word the pastor says. If I'm sitting back in the audience and there's a baby down my row, I'm going to be focused on that baby. I'm going to watch everything that baby does. I'm going to want to hold that baby. I want to touch that baby. I want to see that baby. Then somebody starts opening a piece of candy down the row. Oh my gosh, that's going to drive me insane. I'm going to hyper focus on that piece of paper, that cellophane or whatever that they're opening to put that mint or whatever in their mouth. Or I'll look down and somebody's tapping their foot, or they're turning the pages in their Bible. Like every little sound will keep you, if you have ADD, from focusing on what you're supposed to focus on. So that is very hard to navigate. So the bottom line is, you're not stupid. You're not intelligent. You're probably very intelligent. It's just the way your brain is wired with this ADD. You have to find ways to manage that. So that is the biggest thing I can tell you. I will tell you that the tireder I am, the worse it is. If I don't treat myself well, if I'm not getting some exercise, drinking lots of water, it gets worse. Stress makes it worse. So this is probably why in the last 5 years or so, I'm so much focused on living a simpler, easier life. And it is better unless I get real tired, which is what happened this morning. I haven't really slept well in the last few days. And this morning I just, was just having trouble focusing and concentrating. And I'm sitting at the dining table looking at these 4 notebooks, looking at all my notes and all these 4 notebooks. And another thing, preparing a listing agreement. I was actually on the phone with my son, and I got into my system to prepare a listing agreement that I'm about to do for my real estate business. And I pulled up the system and saw that I already did it. It was all done. I don't remember doing it. I did it 3 days ago. I don't remember doing it. So that's another kind of odd aspect of this whole thing. But I never thought anything good that I ever accomplished, I always thought it was a fluke. Working at a newspaper and rising up to being an editor when I never finished my business degree at college, that was a fluke. Getting a job at a shopping mall on the management team and working my way up to being the general manager of the whole shopping mall, that was a fluke. Getting into real estate, and then in the last 3 years being a multi-million dollar producer, that's a fluke. That's not anything that I'm doing. I mean, surely it's not. Everything good that I've ever managed to accomplish, I always feel like is a fluke. I don't really know if that's an aspect of ADD. I suspect it is. I have talked to some other people that have it that feel the same way. So in all my studies about it, I haven't seen that particular thing come up. But if you have this, just please know it's not that you're not smart. You just need to devise ways of focusing and concentrating. Take care of yourself. Get lots of rest. Take walks in the woods, walks in the park, by the water. Have plenty of relaxation time, because that does help. And make those notes, but do it on one notebook. Don't do it on a whole bunch of other notebooks that you don't know where they're at any given time. One might be in the bedroom, one might be in the car. Oh, another thing, going somewhere. Okay, I'm going to this place and I need to take da 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 da. There's 5 things I need to take with me. I'll be halfway to where I'm going and I only brought one of them. And I'll realize, oh my gosh, I left all of it at home. When I went out the door today to come to the park, you know, I had my things on the island in the kitchen. I had my notebook with my points that I wanted to talk about. I had my selfie stick. I had my microphone, my sunglasses. I got in the car. I raised the garage door. I was about to back out. Realized I left the microphone thing and my notebook sitting in there when they were in my hand 1 minute before. So it can be extremely frustrating. But you're not alone. If you suffer from this, you're not alone, and we'll be all right. So let me know your thoughts. If you do have this, or you know somebody who does, or you have questions about it, go to the comments and ask me. We'll figure it out together. If it's something I don't know, I'll do the research and get an answer for you. But I'd love to help people as well with this issue. I never thought this was something I'd come up with. I want to help other people with, but knowing how I felt my whole life that there was something wrong with me, I don't want other people to feel that way as well. So I've accomplished a lot in my life. You can accomplish great things with ADD. It is possible. You just got to work on that focus and concentration, and sometimes that can be a bear. It can be really, really hard. So but you're not alone. I'm here with you. Let me know your thoughts, and see you on the other side. Peace out.